I'm Michelle Lightworker. After over 20 years in the holistic and spiritual development industry, I'm sniffing out who's promoting high vibes all over the globe. We want to show you where you can find high vibes anytime, anywhere, every day. Hi everyone, it's Michelle from High Vibe Hunter here, and I am absolutely so excited to be with Pollyanna Darling, intuitive coach and author, and also the Australian and New Zealand coordinator for Treesisters. Welcome.
Thank you.
To High Vibe Hunter. And I know that Pollyanna is an amazing being who has a really great intention behind what you do. It's very, very deep, even though you would think, oh, trees, planting trees, it's just about green peace and, making the world a better place. But I feel like there's such a deeper intention here with what you do. So I'm really excited to have you here and sharing about what that deeper intention is.
Yeah. So I have been an activist since I was tiny. I joined the RSPCA when I was a very little girl, and I, as a teenager, campaigned for Greenpeace and did my work experience at Friends of the Earth and wrote to MPs and Prime Ministers and door knocked for Greenpeace and all sorts, and I got really burnt out. So I kind of put it all aside for a while, but I have a really deep relationship with nature. So about 6 years ago, I was living up in Upper Mainarm in 10,000 hectares of forest, just looking over this enormous forest. And I was on my computer and this video popped up, and it was Claire Dubois. She was talking about the Treesisters mission, which was to reforest the tropics in 10 years. And I was like, wow, that is such an audacious thing. Through feminine leadership and empowerment. And I was like, the audacity of it and the clear vision of it, and the fact that it wasn't about stopping these people or preventing that thing or fighting corporations or doing this or doing that it was just about this really clear vision of let's reforest the planet for all these reasons. That's what really got me. Something about what she said just made all these tears come, and they were the kind of tears that you have when you know you're on the truth, that this is something to follow. I have these tears that come and I go, I need to do something with this. So I sent her an email saying, you've got me. Treesisters is all about really coming to a place where you can give your own gifts from a place of wholeness. My childhood habit was to make sure that my mum was okay. And so that just kind of continued. It's like, I need to be the person that makes sure that the feminine is all right. One of the things that I did was want to try and fix the feminine and just do whatever was necessary, even if I didn't like doing it. And it's quite a dysfunctional pattern because it means I forget about myself and what I want and just get focused on that. And it also takes the power away from that person, from the woman, because I'm assuming that she needs to be made okay when actually she probably doesn't, and she never asked for that anyway. One of the things that I do not enjoy about traditional activism is that it makes a whole bunch of people wrong, and it's a fight against. So it's about pushing against the standard way of things, and that usually invites an equal pushback that often has more resources behind it. And so it's an energy that I don't like, and it's an energy that really burns me out and cuts me off from my creativity and all of those kind of things. So we are focused on reforesting the planet through feminine leadership and empowerment, and what that means is part of it is a consciousness shift. So part of it is about encouraging women to step into their power, to wake up to our real, purpose on this planet and take a stand for the earth, for Gaia. And we we kind of have two arms. So we have consciousness raising work and we have the trees in the ground work. So we actually channel funds to projects that are already running on the ground. So we're currently putting in 1.34 million as of today trees a year in Brazil, Madagascar, Kenya, Nepal, India, and there's more coming on. So there's a project coming on in Cameroon, and most of those projects are also empowering local women to get out of poverty and to take responsibility for reforesting their lands, and it's really cool. It's really empowering. The 4 billion trees, or however many there are in the Amazon, create rivers in the sky, flying rivers. So out of those 4 billion trees, every day rises this massive amount of water vapor, and it actually creates rivers in the sky that seed the rainfall for the entire world. And there's more water in those rivers than there is in the Amazon River on the ground. And the Amazon River on the ground has something like, it contains more water than all the 5 biggest rivers near it. So there's like a massive amount of water. So that one forest is seeding rainfall for the whole entire planet. Like, who knows that? If you went and asked people out there, do you know that the Amazon seeds the rainfall for the whole planet? Most people would go, no.
So I really loved what you were talking about with regards to empowering women and really helping people to step into their purpose and their intention. And I think the thing that really stood out for me when I first met you was you saying that the way you guys are actually planting the trees, the energy with which you guys are planting the trees is really coming from a place of that internal empowerment within the self, not from a place of fear. That really stuck with me. That's why I wanted to have you on the show. It really did. No, because so many people are coming from that place of lack when it comes to saving the planet.
Yeah.
You know, and that also goes back to what you were talking about with, you know, when you first came into Treesisters and you felt that you'd stopped the activism stuff because you'd burnt out. Yeah. It's kind of like it kind of really sits with that. So I didn't know about that bit, but I really got it, how that kind of happened for you.
Yeah.
It sparked up for you.
Yeah, and I guess everything in my life is like that. Like, I don't want to fight anything. And I feel like that's really a part of feminine consciousness as well, is that there is no fight. There's just a sense of receptivity, and out of that comes all kinds of things. And it's really interesting that you're asking this, because Treesisters have been doing this Billion Trees campaign, and as a part of that, we've done these global meditations every week. And there's an invitation during the meditation to really see Gaia, to see Earth. And every time I step into that, I see something really that I wasn't expecting. Like, perhaps that, you know, people might have an idea that you'd see all this kind of rape and pillage of the earth or whatever. But yesterday, I did one of the meditations, and because I see things, like I have a lot of visions and visuals, and I saw Gaia as this really open-hearted, like just wide open, even if it hurts, heart wide open, even if it hurts. And the next question in the meditation was, you know, what does she need from you? And it was the same thing, heart wide open, even if it hurts. And it's it's kind of what I've been learning in the last 2 years as well, is learning that we're so conditioned to shut off our hearts when they become hurt, and that actually if you really weather what happens in those experiences and you allow that, then, and you allow how you feel and you just let yourself be in that, you kind of discover that it hasn't damaged the core of you at all.
Yeah, absolutely. And talking about cores, we, talking about Mother Earth as a reflection of as an extension of ourselves and feeling that heart connection to her. Yeah?
We are the earth. Yeah, that's the thing that we kind of have been trained out of, is mainly because of religious beliefs, is that we are somehow separate, that we are somehow a separate species, rather than the truth of the matter, which is that we are of earth, like we are from earth, like every other species that there is, and we are the earth. And in that way we can't make the earth a victim, because we are that. And so the earth is not a victim of us. The earth is, it's the base that we rely on. If it's not thriving, we're not thriving.
Let's talk about bacteria. We want to talk about bacteria and how this relates to bacteria.
Half of the world's lifetime, it's been colonized by bacteria, and those bacteria kind of they reach these crisis points and actually manage to find, at the crisis point, find ways to move through that. And one of the things that really keeps me going is what my dad told me as a teenager about London in Victorian times, when everyone rode horses and there was horse poo everywhere, like the streets were full of it and it was piled up everywhere and it was getting in the water supply, and it was this terrible public health crisis. And right at the point where it reached the worst possible scenario, somebody invented the combustion engine, and there came the motor car. And now, obviously the motor car has kind of reached its crisis point too, and we need to do something else. What I feel is that we can, if we all wake up to the fact that we are Earth and that we are life, then we will find a way to move through this. But if we stay in this kind of a sleep state of like, I'm just
or
gonna...
the victim state, or the bad guys, versus they're just coming from a place of old religious belief that everything on earth is a resource, we should use it, and if we don't, it goes to waste, like that. It's like, well, it's like giving everyone a chance to really step into consciousness, isn't it? Really.
And to just reframe things in a way that actually promotes life.
Yes, and that feeds the earth. Like, I'm a big believer, like we are feeding the earth all the time. What vibrational frequency are we feeding the earth? And that's why we're so interested in Treesisters planting these trees with this empowerment, not this fear, because it's great to have all these good intentions, but if we're not doing them from a place of real love and if we can't move into that place, if we're really doing it from a place of lack, we're planting lack. We're powerful beings. If there's no separation between us and Mother Earth, really.
I'm thinking about there's a Treesisters video about our project in Kenya, and it's these beautiful Kenyan women talking about planting the trees on Mount Kenya, and they know that their rainfall and their rivers depend on those trees. And so as they're planting the trees in the ground, they know that they are bringing all of that back to life, and that coming back to life is also nourishing the farmland and then feeding their children. And there's this whole kind of onflow, and there's something so alive in that. Like, that's really human beings tending to what we are.
So tell us where we can find more about Treesisters and get involved.
So you can go to treesisters.org, and there's loads of information there. If you want to listen to these amazing interviews I've been talking about and do the meditations, you can go to billiontrees.me and sign up. It's all freely available as part of that consciousness shifting work. And if you want to talk about Australia or New Zealand Treesisters stuff, you can get a hold of me at Pollyanna@treesisters.org.
And they can find for your work and things like that. Where can they find you?
So if you are a healer or a change maker or a creative professional and you really want to find the courage that you need to bring your deeper work to the world, then you can find me at fallinginlovewithlife.co, not .com, .co.
I like that. I like fallinginlovewithlife.co. It's kind of like, let's cohabitate in falling in love with life. That's cool. I like that. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure learning more about Treesisters and the big mission and your energy and what you're putting behind it and your love for it. So thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Michelle.
Awesome.